A huge rumor is circulating about the PlayStation 5 showcase coming this Wednesday. Obviously, there's going to be big game announcements, big game updates. Well, one of them is seemingly going to be coming from a third-party partner. It's a game that I think a lot of us know is ultimately going to be coming at some point, but Final Fantasy 16 announcement reportedly planned for PlayStation 5 showcase, and a lot of things have popped up that have led a lot of people to think that this will in fact be happening. Speaking of PlayStation 5, Sony are going above and beyond by the looks of it to ensure that PS5 can meet demand and supply for units for people to buy this holiday season. We'll take a look at that at the end of this video, but I find it very hard to believe that Sony is going to be able to, meet the demand of how many people want this damn console, but we'll talk about what they're doing. Okay, Final Fantasy 16 announcement reportedly planned for PlayStation 5 showcase. A lot to go over here. Square Enix is planning to announce FF16 during the upcoming PS5 showcase. According to some reports, the event is scheduled for this Wednesday. FF16 was first rumored to make an appearance back in June when Sony held their first event. However, they decided to push that off for whatever reason. This showcase is going to have another announcement, and I would imagine gameplay updates and things of that nature. Square Enix has also announced Project Athia, the next open-world RPG from the developers behind Final Fantasy 15. Some speculated that that might end up turning into Final Fantasy 16 because Project Athia obviously is not going to be its final name. However, it seemingly is not the case. That's not the case, and Final Fantasy 16 will be a separate game entirely. For some reason, FF16, which was reportedly set for a reveal during that showcase, didn't make the cut. It was heavily rumored for a while. Its absence felt abrupt due to the nature of the COVID-19 pandemic. But a lot of people think that now it is going to be a great time to announce it. Sony obviously has announced their next showcase that's going to be running for around 40 minutes, and adding to the speculation, it was recently discovered that a Twitter account has been made for Final Fantasy 16 that is registered by an official Square Enix domain. I mean, that is pointing to it pretty hard. Shinji Hashimoto, who was a key figure for the series at Square Enix, has recently retweeted the announcement of the PS5 showcase. Another hint is a tendency to retweet such news if there is an announcement related to the projects that he handles over at Square Enix. He is also associated with the Kingdom Hearts series. However, I highly doubt we're going to be seeing a new Kingdom Hearts announcements. Game Informer's ex-editor Imran Khan also agrees that this event might be a good time to finally announce the game. And to add to that, there has been a lot of inside rumors about the reveal of Final Fantasy 16 is reportedly being developed by the same team which is behind Final Fantasy 14, which is really exciting because yes, FF14 is an MMO, but that game has an incredible narrative that if they're going to handle Final Fantasy 16, that is a harbinger for very, very good things to come. They also had released a piece of artwork on their website that seemed to indicate something regarding their next project, and it tied with a recruitment drive for various positions at their studio, noting this project has already completed the initial development, the development environment has been prepared, and we are now in the full-scale, large-scale development phase, said the official post, commenting on their next-generation project. We are looking for developers who will give the world a fun, and surprise. Now, that's pretty interesting. I highly doubt that that's regarding a Final Fantasy 14 expansion. I really don't think that's the case. I think this is something that is a brand new next generation project, and them working on Final Fantasy 16. Hey, FF14 might be the best received Final Fantasy game in recent memory. We know that the FF7 remake team is going to be working on the FF7 remake. Well, why not this team that is incredibly talented work on Final Fantasy 16? I think that makes all the sense in the world. Adding to that, on the Reset Era forums, AP Zone Runner features editor at VG247 revealed some interesting details on Square Enix's future projects, talking about FF7 Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, using the Unreal Engine 4. Project Athia is going to be using the visually mind-blowing project from the publisher that will be powered by new technology. This is apparently also the reason why Project Athia was shown during the PS5 Future of Gaming event, as Sony seemingly wanted to push games that could showcase the console's technical abilities better. Noting, I will also say that I think the game made less sense at the June event once the parameters seemed to settle on it being an event to more strictly showcase PlayStation 5's technical ability, thus the impressive Ratchet and Horizon demos. In that sense, Athia fit better, as Athia is Square Enix's forward-looking, visually mind-blowing project on new tech, more so than the next Final Fantasy, which as far as I know will use a tried-and-true existing engine, which I think makes all the sense in the world. Use an existing engine for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 16 does not have to be this technically mind-blowing game, and, looking at games like FF7 Remake, those games to me are already technically mind-blowing, but that is a game that can rely on a consistently well-done engine where a game like Project Athia, hey, if that pushes the envelope a little bit and it is a little bit more ambitious of a project, that might be something to get people really excited. The idea of a Square Enix game with the tagline of Project, though, that's a little bit worrisome because yeah, we know Square Enix and how things like that turn out. That's also done by a Japanese studio, so yeah, I don't know at what point we're gonna see that game. Final Fantasy 16 is another game. Yeah, it might be announced today, but I think we're all gonna age about 5 to 7 years between now and Final Fantasy 16's actual release, and it might end up being a PlayStation 6 game. I know that's incredibly depressing to think about, but hey, it is reportedly being done by the FF14 team, and that is the rumor right now, and that team is incredibly talented, so I'll give them a little bit of credit. But look at Final Fantasy Versus 13's release trailer date, and then look at when it actually came out. I'm not gonna be all that optimistic considering it's Square Enix, but part of me wants to hope for the best. So we'll find out all of that. It will be happening 1 p.m. Pacific time this Wednesday. That's 4 p.m. Eastern. Your local time may vary a little bit, but do keep tabs on that. Lastly, I do want to note something that Daniel Ahmad noted over on Twitter regarding PlayStation 5, and obviously we're living in this pandemic and getting all of these consoles here in the States is gonna be a little bit difficult. However, Daniel Ahmad noted, Sony are using air freight to ensure that PlayStation 5 can meet demand and supply enough units. The company has booked 60 flights from October Delta 747 to ship consoles to retailers. This supply is expected to last through the quarter. Air freight is faster than sea, but more expensive. Just to clarify one point, I'm not 100% certain if this is 60 flights or 60 aircraft, but it does sound like each flight will be full. Source for this is Delta Air Cargo head Jerry Tai. The information for this being from Delta means that they would not be aware of communication Sony's plans with other airlines. Sea freight, it's usually unlikely the above covers all shipments and channels. It's also worth noting that these flights are for the US. Honestly, 60 flights, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Maybe I'm overestimating the sales expectations of the PlayStation 5 a little bit, but dude, I lived through the PlayStation 4 and its release, and anecdotally speaking, I feel like there's an incredible amount of hype, even more so than the PlayStation 4's release, and I think this console is going to do really, really well. I think the Series S and Series X are going to do really well, but I think the PlayStation 5, people are going to be, I don't know if surprise is the right word, but I think it's going to sell really well, and I think it's going to sell out rather quickly. But that's just my 2 cents, and that's going to conclude this video. What would you think about the launch of Final Fantasy 16 and the reveal of Final Fantasy 16 at the showcase for the PlayStation 5? I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it is going to happen, and I think it will be a timed exclusive. And it looks like Sony is doing everything in their powers to ensure that they have enough PlayStation 5s for this holiday season. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.